Last week, I sat across from a father of two who makes six figures in his corporate job. You want to know what he told me? Well, I'm going to tell you anyway. He said, Tracy, I feel like I'm dying inside, watching my kids grow up while I'm building someone else's dream. Ladies and gentlemen, that hit me hard. Stay tuned because today we're going to unpack the real price that you are paying by putting your entrepreneurial dreams on hold. And trust me, it's not what you think. What is up? What is up? What the hell is up, my Dark Horse friends and family? Welcome back to another episode of the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast. I am your humble host, Tracy Brinkman, and I have been itching to have this very conversation with you. You know, just this morning I was checking my emails, and let me tell you, my inbox was, well, I won't say flooded, but it was peppered with messages from parents just like you, entrepreneurs just like you, parents who are sitting in their cubicles right now as I'm recording this, watching their kids grow up through photos on their screens instead of being there for those precious moments. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get real for a minute, shall we? We're not just talking about starting a side hustle here. We're talking about building something so much bigger. We're talking about your legacy. We're talking about your freedom. And yes, we are even talking about your sanity. Here's something that keeps me up at night. Well, it doesn't keep me up, but you know what I'm talking about. It's a saying. Seeing talented, driven, entrepreneurial parents like you putting their dreams on hold, all because society has convinced them that it's the responsible thing to do. But let me ask you something. Since when did playing it safe become more responsible than creating a better future for your family? It's a good question. Well, in a few minutes, we're going to go diving deep into the 4 hidden costs that nobody, and I mean nobody, talks about when it comes to postponing your entrepreneurial dreams. We're going to explore the emotional toll it's taking on you, the opportunities you're losing that you don't even know about, and the real impact on your family. And no, it's not what you think it is. And something I call the growth death spiral. But here's why it really matters specifically to you, my fellow driven entrepreneurial parent. While everyone else is out there preaching hustle 24/7 or quit your job today, we're going to talk about the real world. We're going to talk about your world, the world where sports practice doesn't care about your Zoom call, where client meetings compete with parent-teacher conferences, and where bedtime stories, well, to me, they're non-negotiable. Because here's the truth that nobody's going to tell you. Here's the truth that nobody is telling you. The biggest risk isn't in trying. The biggest risk is not in failing. It's looking back in 20 years. I call this the rocking chair test. You're sitting out there with your loved one, your spouse, whoever it might be, on that front porch, your favorite beverage in hand, just rocking slowly back and forth and wondering what if. Yeah, so go ahead, grab your coffee, whatever your favorite beverage is. Find a quiet spot if you can. I know it's easier said than done. And let's dive into what's really at stake when you put your entrepreneurial dreams on hold. All right, let's talk about the first hidden cost of putting your entrepreneurial dreams on hold. And this one, I think this one hits straight to the gut. I'm talking about the emotional toll. And trust me, it's heavier than any mortgage payment that you might be making right this very minute. Every Monday morning, millions upon millions of parent entrepreneurs drag themselves to the jobs that they've outgrown, drag themselves to the job that they bitch about every week about, drag themselves to the job they have grown to hate, telling themselves this is what responsible parents do. But here's the brutal truth. Every time you silence that entrepreneurial voice inside you, you're not just quieting a dream, you're dimming your own light. Now, let me paint a picture from a conversation I had last month. And it was with a brilliant marketing executive and a mother of 2. And she told me something that kind of stopped me in my tracks. She said, you know what, Tracy? Every time my 7-year-old asks me what I want to be when I grow up, I die a little inside. Why? Because she's teaching her daughter to settle, not to soar. Yeah. Every time her daughter asks her what she wants to be when she grows up, she doesn't know what to say. She knows what she wants to be, but she won't do it. Huh? Okay. So here's what nobody tells you about being a parent entrepreneur. Your kids are watching. And they aren't just watching what you do, they're internalizing how you live. You see, when you push down your dreams, when you accept good enough, you're not just writing your story. You're not just writing the next chapter of your story. You're writing the first chapters of theirs. Well, I want to talk about the regret factor. And you know what's interesting about regret? It's not the failures that haunt people on their deathbeds or even during their rocking chair moment that I mentioned earlier. No, it's the chances that they never took. The dreams that they folded up nice and neat and tucked away in a drawer labeled someday. A drawer that too often remains closed until it's too late. You know the stories. You've read them, you've heard them, you've probably experienced them, and maybe you even closed the lid on a few of them yourselves with some of the folks that you love. Just this morning, I had an email from Mike, one of my Dark Horse family members, and he's been in corporate finance for 15 years, making what most would call good money. But here's what he wrote, and I want this to really sink in. Quote, every time I approve another company's budget for innovation, every time I help another startup secure funding, I realize I'm building everyone else's dreams but my own. My kids think I'm successful, but how successful can I be if I'm afraid to bet on myself? Unquote. Huh? Yeah? You feel me? Now, I'm not saying you should march into your boss's office right now or even Monday morning and slam your hand down on the desk and say, I quit. No, that's not what we're here about at the Dark Horse Entrepreneur. But what I'm saying is this. The emotional cost of ignoring your entrepreneurial dreams isn't just about you feeling fulfilled inside. No, it's about that slow erosion of your self-worth, the subtle dimming of your spirit, and the unspoken lessons you're teaching your children about what's possible in life. Think about it a minute. When was the last time you truly felt alive at work? Go ahead. I'll wait. Yeah. When was the last time you jumped out of bed with excitement, excited to tackle the day going to work? Yeah. Here's the thing. If you're having trouble remembering the last time, let me tell you, it's not job fatigue, my friends. That's your entrepreneurial spirit gasping for air. Yeah. The real tragedy isn't failing at your entrepreneurial dreams. It is succeeding at the goals that were too damn small to begin with. Yeah, those ones you're accomplishing for other people, maybe. Let me tell you why this matters even more than you might think. To do that, we're going to talk about something that, again, keeps me up some nights and may not keep me awake all night, but certainly keeps me up a little longer than I like. And I like to call it the opportunity vacuum. No, this is not one of those fancy business school terms. This is real world, in the trenches truth about what happens when we wait too damn long to chase our dreams. Here's the thing about opportunities, my friends. They're like compound interest. The earlier you start, the more they multiply. Simple. But unlike the money that we put in the bank, opportunities don't wait for you to be ready. Let me break this down into some real numbers. When I first started my side hustle, and those of you who've been around long enough know the story, I thought I was too busy to put in 2 hours of work. Ladies and gentlemen, that decision cost me a year, maybe two, of pure momentum. But here's where it really gets interesting and a little bit painful. It's not just about the money you're not making. Let's talk about what I call invisible costs, right? First, there's that compound effect of delayed action. I just mentioned it. Every month that you wait, it's not just 30 days lost. It's 30 days of potential connections. It's 30 days of lost lessons. It's 30 days of lost growth that you will never, ever get back. Period. End of story. Mic drop right there. Think about this. While you're waiting for the perfect time to start, someone else, maybe someone you know, is out there making imperfect progress, learning from their imperfect mistakes, and building your empire as theirs. Yeah. See, the learning curve. Oh man. Let me tell you about the learning curve. You know what's happening right now in your industry? New tools are being launched. New strategies are emerging. New connections are being formed. Yeah. And here's the brutal damn truth. The market doesn't give a crap about your sports practice, your soccer practice, your football, cheer practice on Thursdays. It's moving ahead with or without you. So let's talk about network building while we're at it. Because I think this one is a silent killer. Every day that you are not out there building your side hustle, you're missing out on what can be called serendipitous connections. These are those random encounters, those unexpected partnerships, those right place, right time moments that can completely change everything for you and for your dreams. You know what's worse than being late to the party? Watching someone else succeed with your idea because they started while you were still planning. Yeah, I had a conversation with one of my Dark Horse family members last week. Let's call him James. And he's been sitting on this brilliant idea for an online business for, gosh, it's about 2 years now. And you know what happened? He just found out one of his colleagues just launched the exact same concept. The market position he could have owned if he'd launched back when he got the idea. Poof, it's all gone. The audience he could have built, someone else is now serving them. Yeah. But here's where I want to flip the script on you. The best time to start your side hustle, the best time to start your entrepreneurial adventure was yesterday. 24 hours ago. The second best time? Right now. Because while you're worried about all the opportunities you missed, there are new ones being born every single day. There are new ones that are out there ready to be born, and you haven't even thought of them yet. Yeah, think about this. Every major platform that we use today, every industry disrupting service, they are all started from someone who decided to start before they felt they were ready. Look, Amazon, the behemoth, is out there right now. We all talk about it. Amazon didn't wait till they had the perfect business model. Heck, they lost money for years, but they started selling books. Just books. That's it. They had an idea and they started. Netflix didn't wait for streaming service to become mainstream. They started with DVDs in the mail. Yeah. Your kids do not need to see a perfect business plan out of you. They need to see a parent who's brave enough to even start. Yeah. But wait, I'm not done with you yet. Wait until you hear about this third hidden cost, because this one might just be the most expensive of all. And it's kind of the elephant in the room. So let's go ahead and talk about that elephant in the room. The impact on your family. Now, I know what you're thinking. I can hear it now. I've said the same words, Tracy. I'm putting off my side hustle for my family. But I need you to stick with me here, because what I'm about to share with you will just flip your perspective completely on its butt. Here's the paradox that keeps successful parent entrepreneurs up at night, right? While you're busy protecting your family from the risk of entrepreneurship, you might actually be robbing them of their greatest opportunities. Yeah. Well, let's start with the numbers first. The long-term financial implications. Yeah. And no, I'm not just talking about that extra income you could be making if you started today. I'm talking about something way bigger. When you stay locked into a 9-to-5, you're trading your time for money. And you're teaching your kids to do the exact same damn thing. And for many of you, you're happy doing that. More power to you. For those probably listening to this show, it's probably not you. But picture this. You're sitting at your desk. You're watching your salary inch up 3% every year. Pretty cool. Not bad. Barely keeping up with inflation. And some of the years that we've seen in the past, 4 or 5 years, not keeping up with inflation. Meanwhile, the parent entrepreneur down the street is building assets, is creating multiple streams of income, and teaching their kids about passive income before they're even old enough to drive. Yeah, but here's what really keeps some of you up at night, myself included. While you're worried about designing work-life balance in your job, you're missing the chance to design your ideal work-life integration. Let me share something a little personal here. Not too far in the past, I watched a father on the playground frantically taking work calls while his little daughter was begging him just to watch her on the swing. Daddy, look how high I can swing. Daddy, look how high. You've seen those scenes. We've all seen them. And you know what he told me when I was chatting with him? He said he couldn't pursue his business idea because he needed to be there for his family. Ladies and gentlemen, can you see the irony in that? Right? You know what I'm talking about. The greatest gift that you can give your children isn't your presence inside of every single moment. It's showing them how to create a life where you choose which moments matter. Oh, yeah. Let that one sink in. Now, let's talk about legacy. And I'm not talking about money in the bank, okay? As you've noticed, a number of these have been more about than just the cash. I'm talking about the legacy of courage, the legacy of innovation, and the legacy of resilience. When your kids look back 20 years from now, what story are they going to tell about you? About you as a parent? Will they say, you know what? My mom, my dad, they played it safe. They stayed comfortable, and they taught me to do the same. They might. Okay. If you're listening to this show, that's probably not the story you want them to tell. Here's what you might want them to say. My mom, my dad show me that it's never too late to chase my dreams, that calculated risks are worth taking, and that creating value for others is the surest path to success. Yeah. That's the kid you want. That's the story you want to be told. Your kids don't need another damn lesson in playing it safe. Trust me, they're getting plenty of those from other people out there. What they need is a front row seat to what courage really looks like and what courage looks like in action from you. Their mom, their dad. Think about the role model aspect that comes with this. Every time that you say, I'll start someday, I'll start tomorrow, oh, next week, oh, after football season, or it's not the right time. Your kids are learning that dreams are something you put up on the shelf and postpone, that you do not pursue. Every time you complain about your boss, but don't do a damn thing about it, you do nothing to change your situation, you're teaching them to accept circumstances rather than create opportunities. But here's the good news, and yes, there is good news. I know I'm giving you bad news, but there's good news to be had. It's not too late to flip the script. Your kids are watching you. I mean, if you look over your shoulder, you might see those pretty little eyes right now. They're watching you right now, today, and they're learning from what you do more than what you say. Yeah, okay? Look, here's the thing. I heard from a recent Dark Horse family member, a mother of three, who started small, just 2 hours a week, on her side hustle. You know what her 10-year-old daughter said to her not too long ago? Mom, when I grow up, I want to be brave, just like you. Not successful like you, not beautiful like you, not long hair like you, not have all the friends like you, not rich like you, brave, just like you. Let that sink in. Because here's the truth about family impact. Your entrepreneurial journey isn't taking away from your family legacy. It can become the cornerstone piece of it. Yeah. Okay. Now, there's another hidden cost we need to talk about. And this one might be the most personal of all. Okay. And this is maybe even the most insidious hidden cost that I'm going to talk about. And it is personal growth stagnation. And let me tell you, this one is the slow leak in your tire of life, right? You might not notice it day to day, but eventually you're going to go flump, 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 because you're going to find yourself running on a flat tire. And those of us who've done it know how it happens. And when that flat tire's in the front, it starts pulling you in a direction, and it pulls hard. I know I had a front end blowout one time. I was traveling down a road in Fulton, California, and I was driving along, and all of a sudden, pow, the front tire just completely went out, and it was on the front right. And you want to talk about instantly grabbing that steering wheel and pulling to the left, and the car still went to the right. So it's another one of those insidious factors that come along. And here's the thing that I hear all the time. Tracy, I'm going to start my side hustle once I learn everything I need to know. Man, you just want to, sometimes oh man. But here's the truth bomb I want to leave for you. Entrepreneurship isn't a destination that you prepare for. It's the vehicle that teaches you how to drive while you're already on the road. Yeah, let's take a little time and talk about skill development delays. Ladies and gentlemen, while you're waiting to feel ready, the market is evolving at warp speed. Think about it. AI is transforming industries overnight. Digital marketing strategies that worked last month are already outdated. That's one of the reasons why I created the Dark Horse Insider, to give you more up-to-date information. The cost of waiting isn't just measured in time, it's measured in relevance. So think about this. Every day you spend inside your comfort zone is a day your entrepreneurial muscles weaken. They get weaker. They start to atrophy. Heck, some of them even go away. It's like having a gym membership and not showing up. You're paying the price for it twice and not getting any of the benefits. Let me share with you something that hit me really hard not too long ago when I was talking to one of the parents in the Dark Horse family. And this parent is a brilliant IT professional. He's been in the same role for like 8 years, making good money. But when his company started to downsize not too long ago, guess what? All those stable skills that he'd been relying on, they were about 8 years out of date. Didn't need to give up those skills for the job he had. Yeah. You see, the corporate world doesn't reward maintenance. It rewards growth. And nothing, I mean nothing, forces growth like building something on your own. Now, let's talk about the innovation muscle. We talked about muscles atrophying just a minute ago, so we'll call this one the innovation muscle. And you know how they say if you don't use it, you lose it, right? Let's lose it or use it or lose it. Yeah, It's use it or lose it. Your creative problem solving abilities. How about those? How about your risk assessment skills? How about your ability to spot opportunities? Your ability to read people? These aren't just entrepreneurial skills, ladies and gentlemen. These are survival skills in today's modern economy. Yeah. The world isn't just changing, it's transforming. And while you're standing there, standing still and letting the world pass you by, you're trying to be safe, the ground beneath you is shifting, and it's shifting in monumental scales. Here's what keeps me up at night. This one here does pop me awake every once in a while. I see brilliant, driven entrepreneurial parents, just like you, getting way too comfortable with their discomfort. Yeah. They're trading their dreams for a paycheck. They're trading potential for predictability. And the worst part, they're teaching their damn kids to do the same damn thing. And here's where it really gets interesting. Every parent entrepreneur I've worked with tells me the same thing over and over and over again. The skills that they develop while building their side hustle didn't just create new opportunities, they transformed how they showed up in every single area of their life. They're becoming better problem solvers for their kids. They're becoming better negotiators for their day jobs if they stay in them. They're becoming better decision makers in their relationships. Why? Because entrepreneurship isn't just about building a business. It's about building yourself. And I've said this so many damn times. Entrepreneurship, I think, is the greatest self-help program on the planet. The real cost of putting off your entrepreneurial dreams isn't just the business that you have not yet built. It's the person you have not yet become. Now, let's talk about adaptability in our changing economy. I've mentioned the changing economy a couple of times now. You know what the World Economic Forum says? By 2025, which I'm recording this on January 5th of 2025. They said by 2025, 85 million jobs will be displaced. But here's the kicker. 97 million new ones will emerge. And the question is, will you be ready for those ones that disappear and the new ones that pop up? Here's the thing. Your corporate job, it might feel safe right now. But in today's economy, heck, just the past 5 years of economy, the riskiest thing that you can do is rely on someone else to determine your value. But I got more good news for you. Yes, there's good news. It's not too late to change the trajectory that you are on. In fact, I'm about to share with you how you can break this very cycle. And I'm going to cut the fluff and get right to the meat of what you've been waiting for. How do I break the cycle without turning my family life completely upside down, turning the chaos into, utter chaos? Here's the reality check. You don't need 40 hours a week to start. You don't need a perfect plan to start. And you definitely don't need to risk your family's security to start. What you do need is strategic consistency. Let me break this down into what I call the P.A.C.E method, P.A.C.E. Because if there's one thing we parents understand, it's that slow and steady wins the race, right? Slow is steady and steady is fast. You feel me? All right. P is for pockets of time. Listen closely here. Stop whatever you're doing for a moment and lean into me. Stop looking for huge blocks of free time. They just don't exist in a parent's life. And I mentioned this in the recent episode about parents being able to create the best online courses. They stopped looking for these large swaths of 8 hours of time. Instead, start thinking in 15-minute sprints. It's not about finding time. It's about creating it. Those Netflix binges you're going on, huh? How about those social media rabbit holes you keep diving into? Those right there can become your side hustle time. Here's what Beth, one of our Dark Horse parents, did. She turned her morning commute into her mobile university through podcasts. So I'm talking about it. I was one of them. Her lunchtime break became her business planning time. Within 2 months, 2 months later, she had her entire business framework all mapped out. Now, we did P. A stands for accountability systems. Want to know why most parent entrepreneurs fail? They try to do it all alone. Find yourself an accountability partner. Another parent entrepreneur who gets it, perhaps, right? And then schedule weekly 15-minute check-ins. Share your wins, share your struggles, keep each other moving forward. Another benefit of being a part of the Dark Horse Insider newsletter is that you become a part of that network. Okay. C stands for calculated risk. Ladies and gentlemen, pay attention here because this one again is crucial. Start with what I call risk-free testing. This is another one of those ideas I mentioned in the previous episode about parents creating the best online courses. Before you invest a dime, validate your idea. Use free tools, leverage social media, talk to potential customers, talk to those fellow parents that are sitting on the bleachers with you during sports practice, right? Talk to the parents that are in the line with you during kid drop off and pickup, right? Let me tell you about Mike. He was a father of 3 who is terrified of risking his family's security. He started with just a simple landing page, and then he started a free social media account. Total investment, big fat goose egg, zero, nada, nothing in there. Within 2 months, he had 100 people on his waiting list before he even had a product. He was going through the process of validating what it is they wanted. So by the time he created it, he already had 100 people hungry, ready to say, take my money, please. You feel me? All right. E stands for exponential growth planning. Don't try to build Rome in a day. Oh God, please do not do this. You will just stumble, bumble, fall, and face plant on the cold concrete. Start with your MVP. Now, listen, minimum viable parenting compatible project. Some people call it your minimum viable product. We, at Dark Horse Entrepreneur Parents, it's a minimum viable parenting compatible project. Something that you can manage within those 15-minute sprints we were talking about. Look, here, let me give you a practical action plan. Week 1, dedicate just 15 minutes a day to market research. And with AI, you'll gain a lot of insights on that market research. Week 2, create one piece of content or reach out to one potential customer daily. Yeah, someone who would resonate with what it is you're thinking about creating, who you think would buy it. Reach out to them, one a day. Week 3, build your minimal online presence. Right? You're 2 weeks in, you've got an idea how things are going to go and things are going to look and what you're going to create. So now you can create that online presence. Then week 4, launch your first offer, no matter how small. Heck, how many $7 offers have you seen out there? Yeah, they work. I'm just saying. Remember this. Perfect is the enemy of started, and started is the enemy of stuck. Or maybe started is the enemy of suck. Either way, they both work. Let me share one last success story that kind of brings this all together. Jennifer, single mom of 2, started her side hustle during her kids' football practice. Just 45 minutes, twice a week. She sat in her car with her laptop, sat up on the bleachers with her laptop, did both. Sometimes it was cold, right? All while keeping an eye on the field, right? Within 6 months, she had built a $2,000 a month income stream. Not life-changing money, but certainly life-starting money. Here's something you need to remember. Your kids do not need to see you make $1 million a day, $1 million a month, $1 million a year, $1 million at all. They need to see you take that first brave step. Speaking of steps, let me share with you one final piece of wisdom that could change everything. I'm going to share this piece of wisdom with you today in our Whiskered Wisdom section. That one takeaway that you can implement right now as soon as you're done listening to this podcast, and certainly before your head hits the pillow tonight. Here it is. Create your non-negotiable 15. Yeah, think about that. Non-negotiable 15. This is 15 minutes at a time, every single day, that solely belongs to your entrepreneurial dream. It doesn't belong to your boss, doesn't belong to your inbox, doesn't belong to your kids, your spouse, your dog, or anybody else. This belongs to your entrepreneurial dream. This is your non-negotiable appointment with your future self. Now, here's how you're going to implement this. And pay attention, because this is different from everything else we've discussed today. This isn't what you will do in those 15 minutes. It's about defending them with everything you have, right? Shield up, sword at the ready. Yeah. Here's what I want you to do. First, you're going to identify what's called your golden hour. This is the time when your energy matches your availability. For some of my parent entrepreneurs out there, that might be 5 a.m. in the morning before the kids wake up. For others, it might be during a lunch break when they have a quiet time. And for still others, it's after the kids' bedtime. The time doesn't matter. The consistency, that matters. Next, make it official. Write it into your calendar with a recurring reminder. Tell your family about it. This isn't just another time slot. This is your daily declaration that your dreams matter, that your entrepreneurial dream is going to be a part of your life. And here's the crucial part. This is where most people mess up. Don't fill this time with just random tasks. This is not checking emails. This is not scrolling through social media time. This is pure content creation time, whether that's a course content or whatever, whether you're researching, whether you're planning, or whether you're building. make sure every 15-minute session moves you one step closer to your first launch or one step closer to your next launch. Remember, 15 minutes of focused action beats 5 hours of scattered attention every single time. Look, I don't want you to get this twisted. This is not just another productivity hack. This is your daily reminder that you're not just a parent. It's your daily reminder that you're not just an employee. It's your daily reminder that you are an entrepreneur in the making. And it all starts with defending those 15 minutes like your future depends on it. Because, my Dark Horse friends and family, it does. Now, let's kind of wrap up what we've covered today. Let's bring this all home and recap what we've uncovered today with the hidden costs of putting your entrepreneurial dreams on hold. We started by talking about the emotional toll, that silent erosion of your spirit that happens every time you choose comfort over courage. Remember, it's not just about you. It's about the example you're setting for your kids and your grandkids and everyone within your sphere of influence. We explored the opportunity vacuum, how every day of delay is not just a day lost, but a compound effect of missed connections, missed learning experiences, and missed market positions that you, my friend, will just never get back. We dove into family impact and discovered what we think is actually playing it safe might actually be robbing our families of their greatest opportunities for growth, greatest opportunities for learning, and greatest opportunities for financial freedom. And we uncovered the truth about personal growth stagnation, aka the death spiral. Yeah. How staying in your comfort zone isn't just standing still, it's actually moving backwards in today's rapidly evolving economy. But here's what I really want you to take away from today's episode, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't just about making some dramatic life-altering change tomorrow. No, this is about making a series of small intentional decisions today and tomorrow and the next day that your future self will thank you for. This is about where you could be 3 months from right now, from this very moment. It's not just implementing the whiskered wisdom we talked about, not just about implementing those 15 sacred minutes a day. But if you did, think about it. That's not just 22 hours of progress. That's 22 hours of proving to yourself that your dreams deserve space in your life. That's 22 hours of proving to your kids that your dreams matter enough to set the time aside. Your kids don't need to see you become an overnight success. They need to see you become an everyday example of persistence, an everyday example of courage, and an everyday example of taking calculated risks. The future belongs to those who dare to create it, and that future is waiting for you to take that first step. Or maybe for some of you, could be the next step. Now, before we wrap up, got something special for those who are ready to take action. If today's episode lit a little fire under you, a little spark, a little flame, and if you're ready to stop postponing your dreams and start taking action, this is what I got. And some of you know about it, but for others, let me introduce the Dark Horse Insider newsletter. And no, this is not your typical, here's what worked 5 years ago kind of newsletter. This is your weekly dose of cutting-edge strategies, fresh insights, and real-world tactics that are working today, right now, for my driven Dark Horse parent entrepreneurs just like you. Every week, I'll be delivering the latest tips, the latest ideas, and latest strategies straight into your inbox. We're talking about making money online, transferring your side hustle to your main hustle, and doing all that while maintaining your sanity as a parent or your sanity as an entrepreneur as a whole. So whether you're just starting, restarting, or kickstarting your entrepreneurial dreams, this newsletter is your secret weapon. Shh, don't tell anybody. No, actually, you should tell everybody. Think of it as your weekly reminder that it's never too late to start building the life you want. You ready to get on board? Well, it's simple. All you got to do is go over to Dark Horse Schooling /newsletter. And yes, I'll put that link down in the show notes for you as well. Ladies and gentlemen, the time for waiting is over. The time for action is now. Go ahead. You can stop listening right now. Your future and your future self are both banking on the decisions that you make today. So until next time, this is your humble host, Tracy Brinkman, reminding you to think successfully and take action.